Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry at the Movies with your host, Jerry Saravia. So today we're going back in time to 1983. I don't know what it is about that year, because there were some bad movies that year, and then there were some good ones and some great ones. But at the time, I believe I was 12 years old, so I think I don't know what it was, I just, that year for some reason is fascinating to me. Don't ask me to explain it. I guess because of some of the mainstream movies that were out that year, like Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone in 3D, Amityville in 3D, Jaws 3D. Yes, it was a 3D year. Superman 3 was not in 3D, although it makes you wonder why they didn't shoot that in 3D. And also in 3D was a film that I'd heard of, didn't hear good things about, and only until very recently I watched. And it's a 3D movie, but I didn't get to see it in 3D. Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared-Syn. This is not a movie. This is constructed out of leftover mechanical parts from Star Wars and leftover dusty vehicles from the Road Warrior. And I'm not exactly sure what this movie is about. I am not clear it's really about anything. Sometimes sci-fi movies in particular, sci-fi action movies, sci-fi comic book movies, what have you, deal with good versus evil in very simplistic terms for the most part. Metalstorm is concerned with dusty sand buggies, characters walking for an eternity from one sandy hill to another, and endless shots of slightly low-angle, dusty roads that we see during car chases or dusty buggy vehicle chases, or just simply two people driving one of these sand buggies through these endless dirt roads full of gravel from one sandy dune to another. And it's low angle, so what happens is that what you're seeing is the road, but you don't see enough of the horizon. So you get this constant motion of a road over and over again. The problem with this is that this doesn't build any suspense. Plus, you don't even get to really see the vehicle in the shot either. And that would add something. You know how when they do low-angle shots, usually you see the wheel on the right-hand of the screen, or the left-hand side, and the wheel spinning and, so on. And you see what it is that they're going after if it's a chase scene. And in here you don't see any of that. So the best to my knowledge, there's a hero known as Doggin, who's a ranger without the slightest hint of personality. And there is Kelly-Preston, who is more animated than anyone else in the cast. She plays the daughter of a scientist, I believe, who's excavating for crystals. And Richard-Moll, who the guard from TV's Night Court, for those of you who are my age range would know Night Court or seen reruns of it, plays a 7-foot-tall warrior. And to boot with the Road Warrior comparisons, we have Michael Preston, who was terrific in the Road Warrior, and here plays the villainous Jared-Syn. In addition to this incoherent mess, there are vehicles that explode when they flip over sand dunes. Just, flipping over, crashing into a sand dune, explode on impact. Cheesy special effects featuring flying motorbikes that really hover. It's not like Return of the Jedi motorbikes, where it's more or less at tree level. This is far up in the sky. And nothing approaching anywhere near the level of sense. Now, this is supposedly a post-apocalyptic world, or future, but little explanation is given as to what sort of pre-post-apocalyptic future this is, or world this is. In the Road Warrior, they kind of explain it to you with narration. There was an atomic explosion and so on. And then you saw the result of it. In most movies during the 80s, post-apocalyptic really usually meant post a nuclear war, that it ravaged the entire world or country, whatever. This just has a visual look of a Western that was filmed in a backlot somewhere in Hollywood. which it was, by the way. And Jared-Syn's purpose in this film is also senseless. He's interested in these crystals and in entering another dimension, and uses nomads wearing gas masks to do his bidding. To do what? I haven't the faintest idea. If anyone can explain it to me, please do. And spoiler alert, Jared-Syn is not destroyed in this movie. No destruction. He enters another dimension. Doggin at the end of the picture says, "I'm going after Jared-Syn." Okay. The 3D effects are a non-issue because I wouldn't watch this zero-dimensional crap in 3 dimensions, much less in 1 or 2. So I haven't had the pleasure. There's a nice, nifty surprise in this picture, and that is Tim Thomerson, I believe is how you pronounce it, who plays Rhodes, a mercenary of sorts who becomes Doggin's ally. He's a gruff, wonderful presence of an actor. He almost has that quality Harrison Ford has. Kind of the reluctant, mercenary type, kind of like Han Solo in Star Wars, really. And this actor is best known for Trancers, which the director of this picture, Charles, oh my god, I forgot his name. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Charles whatever made this film and also Trancers and I think a couple of the other sequels. Anyway, you kind of wish that the filmmakers gave Tim Thomerson the role of Doggin, because the movie hints at that idea when we see a head-bandaged Rhodes offering Doggin and Miss Kelly-Preston a ride back to town. It's a fun scene, but wouldn't you know, it's right at the end of this movie. This is not a movie, people. This is not a movie. When people are nostalgic, as I hear people saying, friends of mine, that they're nostalgic for movies of the 1980s, I always say, don't look at the 80s with rose-colored glasses, because not everything that came out during that time was good. This is evidence of absolute crap. 2 or 3 years ago, I saw this movie Time Rider, which I'd always look forward to. That's a masterpiece next to this movie, and Time Rider is a piece of crap movie. It's a terrible film. Yeah, that's all I got to say about Metalstorm. If you really have to see it for Kelly-Preston, be my guest and tell me if you like it. That's all I got to tell you. This is Jerry the Movies with your host Jerry Saravia, signing off.